What is up, DDD fam? Brendan, aka Drip, back with another video. And to today's video, I have a profile I've been wanting to get out for you guys for a long time. I don't think I've ever profiled Dark Magician on this channel, which is crazy because like Dark Magician's up there. It has to be in almost anybody's like favorite decks. But in this deck profile, I'm gonna go ahead and say a few things. One, drop a like, comment, subscribe, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you don't miss an upload. And outside of that, this build is kind of like in testing phase, pretty much. Like I'm gonna probably keep updating it and giving you guys the updates as we go along. But for the most part, it's actually, I would say it's probably 85 to 90% done. A lot of my choosing of cards in this profile, a lot of you are not going to probably like because it's not standard. So that's perfectly fine. Everybody has opinion. This what works for me. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this video. Don't forget, guys, Discord and everything and PayPal and everything's in the description below. If you want to support the channel or become closer to DDD fam, that's there for you. Starting out, obviously, 3 copies of your favorite artwork of Dark Magician. These are mine. Obviously, you need 3, just like any other deck that you run 3 of, whether it's Blue Eyes, Galaxy Eyes, Cyber Dragon, whatever the case may be. You need 3 Dark Magician. He's not really that much of a brick in this deck. It's not brick in this deck like it is in like Blue Eyes is with theirs, sadly. Everybody knows me, knows I'm a Blue Eyes enthusiast, but whatever. And then obviously we run the 1 Dark Magician girl in this build. And then the honorary Dark Magician for obvious reasons. Because making double Dragoon is fun. But that's it for that lineup. Moving on to like the rest of the Dark Magician engine and / starters or whatever. One thing I will say is, like, even though this is kind of a controlled based deck, which anybody who knows me knows I really don't really like control decks really that much, but Dark Magician is the exception, as to a couple of others. But if they are trying to do their main like stuff, like their main combo, or a little bit of, if you want to call it combo, to get themselves set up and it gets like hit by hand traps, it's really hard for them to recover, honestly. Like, speaking of which, this guy right here, I only resolved him once at locals. It was really frustrating because my hand was kind of lackluster, mainly because my deck was still kind of in order from when I put it together. So I feel like that kind of played a good factor in it too. But outside of that, like, this card just is probably, in my opinion, worse than Alistair when it says Scream Ash Me. But yeah, we got 3 Rod. Rod is really good. A lot of people I've seen who play this deck do not, like, they talk about it, but they don't ever talk about how they actually utilize it. His secondary effect, or when you activate a trap, you send a card to grave and then add him back. That's so good because it just keeps fueling your plays and just keeps setting you up. But online it works a lot. But sadly, this week at locals it was really small, so I didn't really get a chance to play that much. So we got 3 Rod, 2 Apprentice. I can understand if you play 3/3. I can understand why you'd want the extra body. Try to ease turbo out Dragoon faster with Anaconda. It's just I didn't want to run it. I know a lot of people are like, "Why are you not running the Blue Boy? Or are you not running Blue Boy package?" No, I'm not. And the reason being is because I wanted to run other cards, but I want to run different cards as my like extenders / draw power / normal summons, because reason why is because Blue Boy is not really a Dark Magician card, as where if I normal summon Blue Boy and Blue Boy gets ashed, then it's pretty much dead. As where if this gets ashed and I can get this engraved, this is a Dark Magician card. This helps me fuel my plays. So Blue Boy is just pretty much there for draw power. So that's why I do not run that. And then moving on to obvious like cards, 3 souls. If you want to play Dark Magician at its fullest, then you need souls. There's no way around it. I know a lot of people say you don't need to break the bank for it. Well, if you want to play Dark Magician at its best and at its most consistent, you need souls. Yes, you can play the deck without it, obviously. But 1, it's nowhere near as fun. 2, it's nowhere near as consistent. And 3, it's nowhere near as good. So you need 3 souls. For the little Dark Magician package, that's it for that. Now moving on to the hand traps. With this deck, you have to minimize on hand traps just so you see your engines pretty much. So like if you've seen any of my videos, you know, like I want to try to the best of my ability to make my hand traps offense as just as much as they are defensive. So in this situation, we decided to go with 3 Phantasme. This card is budget now. 3 Phantasme and 2 Effect Veiler. Okay. The reason why I went with these is 1, this card right here, Phantasme, is busted. Everybody's running links nowadays, whether it's Dragon Link or it's people bringing out Dragoon with Anaconda. People still use links. This card is just as good as it ever was, really, in Link era, in my personal opinion. But we run this because 1, it resets our hand. 2, it is a 7. And 3, it is a dragon that helps us bring out Dragoon, helps us bring out Dark Magician the Dragon Knight. It fuels everything else as much as it does to where it also protects our stuff too, because there was a situation where I played against my friend Tanner. He was playing Unchained. This card slowed him down more than frickin' Dragoon did, in my personal opinion. I felt like, because his target effect, his secondary effect is if your opponent were doing anything to target anything, you can discard a card, negate, and destroy it. So it nips that in the ass. And then Effect Veiler, because it's not a hard once per turn. It's a spellcaster, and it is a level 1 because we run Relinquished Anima, because Relinquished Anima is busted. So that's why I ran Effect Veiler, because it's spellcaster, it's a level 1, and it's not a hard once per turn. But that's actually it for the hand traps. Like I said, you can't run that many hand traps if you want to be able to see your traps and be able to see your engine pieces too. So that's all you really need. And then onto the spells. We got 3 circle. By the way, when we get back to the monsters real quick, I know a lot of y'all are gonna be like, why are you Drip, why are you not running Jester of Confit or whatever? 2 reasons. 1, I don't own it currently, and 2, I couldn't find room for it because of the spells and the traps I wanted to run. Do I think it's a good card in this deck? Yes, because if you normal summon your Rod and your Rod gets ashed and you have that in hand, then there's your Dragoon. Your plays are not completely dead. I 100% agree with that, and I 100% think that's the correct line of play. But 1, like I said, this deck is still in like pre-stages, but I like the build, honestly. There's only a few things I would tweak and maybe move around. But when it comes to the spells and the hand traps, they're pretty much solid. I don't want to change anything. Definitely the hand traps. And then arguably the best card in the deck, honestly, probably better than Souls, is Soul Servant. This card is nuts. It's pot of greed for this deck, and it's searchable, and the first effect can't be ashed because it doesn't add to your hand. It adds it on the top of your deck, so they can't ash it. Which is really nice. Now, it's secondary effect, obviously, when you're drawing, they could obviously ash, but not the first effect, which is really good because you don't have to worry about your stuff being stomped. And then, yes, we run 3 Red Eyes Fusion because we want to see this card as fast as we can, because in this particular build, I want to make Dragoon as fast as possible. I don't give a shit if it's 1 Dragoon. I don't care if it's 2 Dragoon. I want to make Dragoon as fast as possible, sit on it, or win the game with it, just enough time for me to slow the game down enough for me to gain my resources. And this deck can easy money, put up 2 Dragoon. And then the next 3 of is, a lot of people are not going to like this, but I like it, and that's 3 Allure. 3 Allure is, it's really good, honestly. The banish effect never really comes up. I mean, like, obviously it comes up because it's part of the card. But what I mean is it never comes up to where it actually hurts me, is what I was trying to say. Because even if I have to banish a Dark Magician, technically, in my personal opinion, all you really need is 2 in rotation anyways. So accidentally being forced to banish 1 is not going to hurt you. So 3 allure. And now the next part of the deck that I run that's going to be really like skeptical about who's going to like and who's not going to like it. That it doesn't really matter. I like this build. I mean, I like this next card because I just think it's too good not to run. On top of that, it makes everything else come together. And that next card that I run is but bond between teacher and student. I know a lot of people don't like it because they say it requires too much setup. This could be something else. It could be another hand trap. It could be your Jester of Confit. It could be whatever. I like this because it brings more versatility to your Dark Magician girl outside of just being another body, pretty much. So, but like on top of that, I run the Dark Burning Magic too. Those 2 are going to be the ones that a lot of people are not going to like. But personally, I love it. It's a Regeki that's searchable. If anything, it applies pressure to your opponent because your opponent knows this is set. They know this is set. So, like, it's really, really good in that regard. I love it. I'm not going to change this. I know that. If I do, then it's just going to be because something else came up that I liked better. But as of right now, I think the bond between teacher and student and the Dark Burning Magic are the only 2 real bricks in my deck because obvious reasons. This needs setup and then this needs setup. There are 2 cards that need setup, and I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, Drip, that hurts your consistency. Well, I don't know. At the moment, I'll just call this competitive Dark Magician deck 1.0 because it's going to go through multiple phases probably. But like I said, it's probably at like 85-90% done. But I like this. I feel like it applies pressure to where it takes eyes off my Dragoon. It takes eyes off of the rest of my board or the rest of my plays because my opponent knows I have that set and I'm going to activate it at any time on their turn. And then Magical Fusions for obvious reasons. Make a second Dragoon easy. Secrets, Dragoon, any Dark Magician fusion. Dark Magic Attack because who doesn't like a Harpy Feather Duster at searchable in archetype. And then the last one is Eye of Timaeus. That's going to be really people are not really going to like, but I like it because this is helps you make Dragoon. This helps you make Dark Magician the Dragon Knight. Because you can make Dragoon off of this because it's a dragon. It counts as a dragon. Granted, you won't get 2 pops with it. You only get 1 because you only use 1 normal monster, but it doesn't matter. It's still a Dragoon. It's still a negate, and it's still 1 pop, so who cares? That's it for the spells. Garen, let's go on to the traps. Again, like I said, I know a lot of it's going to be up in the air, and a lot of people are not going to like it, but I like it. It works for me. I just need to find room or find a way to squeeze in extra extenders. Like the Jesters. I think the Jesters are really necessary, I feel like now after playtesting. Traps, 3 Eternal. A lot of people dropped this to 2. For the life of me, I don't understand why. This card is, you want to see it because the way I want to play my deck is if I can't beat my opponent with Dragoon, I want to make my Dragoon to slow the duel down in order to get this and get my Dark Magician the Dragon Knight on the board to where they end up scooping because I have them in infinite loop or I end up beating them. So I want to see this as quick as possible. This and Circle I want to see more than anything. And then I'm running 2 Crackdown. I would run 3 if I owned 3, but I only own 2. Crackdown puts in some serious work, I'm telling you. This card puts in some serious work. And then the last card of the deck is Punishment. Before you rage on that dislike button about not running Judgment or Strike or anything like that, hear me out, okay? The reason why I'm not running Strike is I know that I'm not denying that they're decent cards or good cards. I do not like those cards because I do not like having to burn myself in order to negate something. I would rather run cards that are almost as impactful or just as impactful. So what I mean by that is like the punishment. The punishment, I can get double pop off of that. They lose board presence. It's hard for anybody to combo off if they can't keep board presence. Crackdown, they lose board presence. It's hard for them to continue to combo if don't have no board. The crackdowns, they steal your opponent's monsters. You use it to use their monsters to link into whatever you want. Punishment, obviously, like I said. It's not the fact that I'm not denying that Judgment is good. Judgment is good, yes. It comes in clutch. So does Strike. I'm not denying that. And yes, I know you can set it off of the Dark Magicians when you fusion summon it. If they activate a spell or whatever, and you draw and you see it, and you can set it. Yes, but you can do the exact same thing with these. So what does it matter? Not only that, it's just one of those things. Yes, if you ran Judgment or Strike, it would give you side out targets. It's just I don't want to build my deck around my traps and then have to rely on my traps to where when we go into game 3, I'm going to be like, shit, what am I going to do? Because time's running out. I have these traps that are going to burn myself. I cannot tell you, I cannot stress how many times I have played duels and won duels because of my opponent burning themselves with their strikes and their judgments. Yes, they are good, but they're only good for 1 and 2. Like I said before, if you see any of my deck profiles and you've been a member of the DD fam for as long as we've been around, you know that I like building decks for the grind game. I like building for the grind. If you build for the grind, you can handle anything in between. That's just my personal opinion. So I don't want to put cards in my deck that are going to hurt me at the end of the line, pretty much. But that's just my reasoning on it. You can take it as is. You can build your deck as is. That's fine. It's your deck, man. I'm just trying to show you what works for me and what I think is good. Everybody has opinions. Even though it's not allowed on social media or internet or anything like that anymore, but it's whatever. Extra deck time. We got 1 Dragoon, 2 Dragoon. We only run 2 Dragoons. And then, arguably the best card in the deck. I like this card more than Dragoon, honestly. Dark Magician Dragon Knight, busted, dude. Just freaking busted. This card should not be as expensive as it is, by the way. Dark Magicians, same with that one. That one does not need to be expensive as it is. It's card, honestly, I only run 1. You only need 1. That's another reason why it makes me so mad how expensive it is. Yes, it's very solid. It allows you to special summon Dark Magician Girl, yada 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 when something happens to it. And it allows you to draw and set a trap and you can activate the turn. Yes, that's really good. But it's nowhere near as impactful as these other 2. Well, 3 cards, but you know what I mean. Other two names. It's nowhere near as impactful. I can honestly say, granted, I never really got a chance to do really anything because it was a really small man tournament and I got destroyed. But I never really got to summon that. But online, when I summon it, it's actually really good. It's just, it's not my main priority. These 2 are my main priority, and it filters down. Intis for obvious reasons. Dogma Punishment. And then Mud Dragon. And then Draco's Patelia, or whatever, however hell you pronounce his name. We run Super Poly on the side. So Super Poly helps fuel these pretty much. Fuel these. It fuels almost everything, really. For the most part. Maybe not the Dark Magicians, but everything else, yeah. And the Intis, obviously not the Intis. But Super Poly is really good, so we run it in the side. On with the links. Link 1, obviously, Link Spider. Another Link 1, Anima. Anima's busted. So freaking busted. Link 2, we got Anaconda. Masquerina. Link 3s, we got Celine. Celine, obviously, she helps us link climb. That's another reason, like I said, I want my hand traps to be offensive, as in this can revive your effect Baylor, and then you can link climb with it. Last Link 3, we got Unicorn. Unicorn is Unicorn, obviously. And then Link 4, we're not running Boral Sword. You don't need it. You're not running Access Code Talker. You don't need it. Unchained Abomination. If you have Access Code Talker, by all means, run it. Do I want you to break your bank to run it? No. Does this deck need it? No. Can it OTK without it? Yes. 99% of the time you're going to OTK with Dragoon anyways if your opponent don't scoop when you make the second Dragoon. You probably won't even get the chance to attack and defeat your opponent once you make the second Dragoon. Because as soon as they see the second one coming, they already know what's happening. GG, no rewrite them up. GG, write them up all day. But Abomination, because you can link into this, pop, and then pop it in phase, yada, 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 and then bring back Dark Magician, Banish, break boards all day long. And at that point, it's GG. And the last card in the deck, because I like it, is Flare Metal. Because, like I said, I want my deck to be able to play in time. And if I can make this in time, then that's amazing. Because it's for many reasons. One, it's a rank 7. Everything in my deck, for the most part, is a rank 7. That's another reason why I wanted to main deck Phantasme, because everybody runs Link monsters. And top of that, it's a level 7. I can overlay with it if necessary. And another reason, this is a dragon. This is a dragon, which helps you with all your other stuff. Like if you had Super Poly, you could use this and your Dark Magician to go into whatever you want. Whether it be your Dark Magician Dragon Knight, or you could go into your Dragoon. Granted, it would only have one pop. But yeah. It helps fuel anything you want. Helps fuel anything you want and helps you play in the grind game. You don't need Ebon. Ebon's a little bit too slow nowadays. The competitive standpoint, I feel like this extra deck is perfect. It's just a main deck that might need a few tweaks here and there to add some more extenders, as in Jesters and stuff like that. Bump down some ratios. But outside of that, guys, that's it for the deck profile. I really like this build. I really like Dark Magician. Man, this deck is so fun. The profile I made is really fun. The one thing I will say is the alternative that I'm thinking about adding into this deck, make room for outside of the Jesters, it's not a budget option, and that would be it would be talents. Because if I had talents, then if I draw my traps, then I can just rip a card out of their additional card out of their hand, or I can draw if I don't see my Jesters or whatever like that. So that's probably the only other card that I'm going to try to find a way to squeeze into this deck, or make room for. But outside of that, the extra deck I feel is perfect. I'm not going to change anything in it. But with that being said, again, guys, I know I keep saying it all the time, but drop a like on the video, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you never miss an upload. We are moving along as a family, growing. We're getting there. We're chugging along. I'm about 350 at the time making this video. Let's get that 400 and then let's look for that 500, baby. Let's get it. Let's keep going. Another thing I want to say, actually, real quick before I end the video, is this next week, if I will not have any videos up, probably. I'm going to try to pre-record some, so I have some for you. I'm going to be out of town. Taking my family on going on a little vacation with them and stuff. So there will not be any dual videos from locals. There probably won't be no profiles after this one is up. So I do apologize about that. But the following week I'll get back in here and we'll get back in. I'll get back in here and we'll get things rolling. I have a couple of profiles set up for you guys. So again, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you never miss an upload. And be on the lookout for future content. Let me know what you guys think. Discord in the description. You need help with anything. You want to be closer to DD Fam. Drip out. Have a good day. Good dueling. Peace.